tonight we're going to share with you one of, in my opinion, one of the most underrated and underutilized products, which is our UnFranchise marketing app. And myself and Jason are going to go through and really break down how easy it is to use a lot of the components into growing your business, both socially, both on a personal level, and etc. But then after we do tonight's, we're going to come back and we've got our next two series. Now, next week, we're going to talk about building a brand on Facebook and Instagram with UFOs. We're going to bring in some of our best UFOs from the organizations, and we're going to share with you tips and tricks on how to build your brand on Facebook and Instagram. And then for our fourth one, and I'm not going to say the final one because I never know, we might do more of these, from that. But for our fourth week of this series, we're going to talk about creating content that sells. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring on with us the Market America social team who lives and breathes social media, and actually have them walk through some of the things that you can be doing to better get yourself out there, build great content, reach the audience that you want, and reach that target audience, and really communicate so that you can build your brand, just like we heard from Jessica Rich at the leadership school, and just like you're going to hear from many of us, who are growing our business through social media.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because that's ultimately what people want, Steve, is they want to see what's working, what the best practices are, and how they can really kind of really get the shortcuts to success is really
Absolutely,
what they're looking
for sure. And then let's talk about, the reason why we don't have translation tonight is because we have our first Blueprint for Success Hell Tour going on tonight in Toronto. 300 plus people are right now there in Toronto, learning from Dr. Deidre, learning from other medical doctors, who are getting exposed to the business, who are then also, being able to purchase product that is being talked about, while there. It's a beautiful thing. Our next stop is on May 1st in Montreal. That's close to selling out, I believe, based on our projections. That's going to sell out more than likely tomorrow, for that. So if you got any last minute people that want to go to the Montreal one, I'd make sure to get them in tonight. Flushing, Philly, and then Tampa. Guys, this is a great opportunity to learn from Dr. D and learn from medical doctors in each one of these locations, and also expose your new guests and your customers to our Market America products so that they can touch and feel them. This is the one opportunity to where your guests and your customers can touch and feel our products, from that.
That's right.
And then this Wednesday at 8 a.m., we have, for Asia Pacific and for the UK only, Lauren is doing her Blueprint for Success tour exclusively virtually on Zoom. We have over 5,000 people, guests and UFOs already, that have signed up for this. And it's, so Wednesday at 8 a.m., this Blueprint for Success is going to be amazing. Asia Pacific, UK, you're about to have your mind blown when it comes to this tour, coming to you virtually.
Yeah, and so many great things. Congratulations to you in Asia Pacific. And Indonesia had an incredible convention.
Yes.
We had Malaysia had an incredible event over the weekend. This coming weekend is going to be the Taiwan event, annual convention. Certainly, we've got Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia coming up soon. So Asia Pacific, we're excited for you to have the Blueprint for Success tour.
And I can tell you right now, Mark is excited to be at Taiwan this week. I talked to him early this morning, my time, late at night, his time. And, he was telling me that Claire's got his schedule booked solid, and he's looking forward to seeing each and every one of you, and really growing the Taiwanese business with each one of our UFOs. But we want to talk also a little bit about a contest that is going on, out in the field. You have two chances to win $1,000 by using hashtag Size Up Your Wellness. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you need to do when it comes to that.
Absolutely. So the rules have been up on unfranchise.com, and we've got two different categories you can go over, Steve.
Yeah, so we have the create your chain reaction, basically buy or sell core three health and earn one contest point per purchase. But once you also don't just sell, also influence. So make sure that your customers are learning to use the referral links, because every time your customer refers someone, you earn 5 points towards the contest. Whoever has the strongest referral chain will earn a $1,000 shop.com gift card. Now, I don't know about you. I don't even need $1,000 gift card. I just want my customers earning $25, earning $35, so that they can see the power of not just the business, but also the products. Not only is the products helping us on the inside, but now it can help our pocketbooks out, when it comes to referring. The second category is going viral. Taking some of the stuff that we taught you last week, and we're going to teach you going forward, and basically becoming your own social media sensation, and putting your content creation skills to test by creating an original Instagram post featuring Core 3 Health's newest OPC3 300-gram upgrade, and using the hashtag size up your wellness. Now, if you do this and you get the most likes, we will send you a $1,000 gift card, shop.com gift card. So two ways to earn $1,000 shop.com gift cards. And the great thing about all these contests is that even if you don't win, you have one, because you've already built your business and you've earned your customers have earned referral credits. You've earned you've earned BV in the process. Or guess what? You're starting to become a social media brand yourself by just simply doing it and putting yourself out there.
That's right. And you're getting new customers, right? Acquiring new customers that you otherwise would not have if it weren't for this referral program.
So now let's talk about the UnFranchise marketing app. And the thing about the UnFranchise marketing app is it's like so many of the things that we give you as this company. When someone signs up in the business, we don't give them just what they paid for. We give them the kitchen sink. And that's why as preferred, that's why as sponsors, as certified executive upline certified executive coordinators, uplines, etc. It's so important that we go through and we make sure it's not information overload with our new and franchise owners, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of old UFO people who've been in the business 2, 3, 4, 5 years who are still trying to figure out their ways, because they want to tackle every new shiny coin we do, rather than just mastering in what are the basics for them. Now, one of the things, so it's so important to be aware of the tools, the features, the resources, and all the media that's offered to you, because they're easy ways, they're shortcuts to being able to grow a successful and franchise business.
That's right. And we've centralized everything in this app to make it easier, because what's easy is duplicatable.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's important is, a lot of times people say, well, I haven't seen this asset or this video that you've been sharing with us. Well, you want to make sure every time that you open your UnFranchise marketing app, even if it says, updated Friday, March 17th, it's going to give you a date stamp. You should always take your finger, put it on the top of the screen, and pull down to refresh. And it's going to load the most current information that we've loaded into the app. And I'll tell you, on a weekly basis, we're loading more and more content in there for you to use, from videos to pictures, and even taking some assets down for maybe some things that are, promotions that are no longer running, Steve. So it's important that they update their app consistently.
And the thing about it is that, Jason, this was something I did today because I logged on to my UF marketing app. And I noticed that, there were some images that didn't come up. And even though it had said that it updated today, some of the images did not happen. All I had to do was just swipe it down. Once it refreshed, it was like a brand new site came up there and all of that. So, so that would have been something that you might have gotten caught about saying, hey, I'm opening it up and it's showing broken images. No, all it sometimes needs is just a good refresh, especially with the amount of content that we are putting up on a daily basis now.
That's right. It's just like when you go browse the internet and it kind of caches or keeps a certain record of your last browser history. It's similar like that in the app. Um, Now, Steve, we've been talking about all the different communications that we have. Everyone should be subscribing to their emails, opting into listening to the company for emails to make sure that you're staying in touch, but also the UnFranchise business app, the shop app, and the UnFranchise marketing app. You want to make sure that you turn on your notifications. So very simple to do in the app is when you log in on the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little more button, and then you're going to click on settings and then notifications, and then you're going to turn on the push notifications, and that will allow you to know when we load new content. We'll usually send out a message and say, hey, make sure you check out the new celebrity reels or celebrity shorts or the new Core 3 Health promo video. And that way you're always knowing what's being loaded into the app as well.
Correct. And this was a thing that, so many of us are, either a little bit gun shy when it comes to video, like we talked about last week, putting yourself behind the camera and actually talking through this. This, Jason, I feel like is such a great way to practice, because I can go on to my UnFranchise marketing app and I can actually, do a practice run with this. I can start showcasing, content, getting video content, creating it, and then working myself up so that when I do want to share it on my Instagram story, when I do want to share it on my Facebook or my TikTok, it's already now been run through the gamut, which is the toughest critic, which is us, our own selves. And so, so this is a great way, whether you're practicing or whether you already have great content and it's almost like you just need to record it. And so it's a great way for you to be able to record a lot of great video content, a lot of great media content, and then being able to share it at any point on your social media. One thing I'm going to tell you about, and we talked about it a little bit last week, but I want to reiterate it, is that just because you can create a great piece of content, and if you're not reaching your right audience, you may only get a couple likes out of it. Well, the great thing about great content that isn't seen is you can reuse it. And you can then share it again 3-4 months later when you start building your content towards the right audience. And then what's going to happen is that those 5 likes is going to turn into 25 likes. It's going to turn into 100 likes. It's going to turn into 1,000 likes. And all of a sudden, people are going to be DMing you to find out more about what you're talking about or what you do.
That's right. And there's so many great uses for this feature in the app. Everyone has a section called My Media, and you can add media, and it allows you to upload a video from your own phone. And this great example was Lee Rader, who did a tutorial on how to fill in her brows with a brow pencil, and then she tied it to the product. So it allows you to search product links and attach it to that video. It can be shared on social. It can also be shared individually on an email or a text message, just like everything in the app. But Steve, one thing that I realized that it allows you to do is not only upload video, but let's say there was a YouTube video that you liked and it wasn't in the app. You can upload that YouTube link to the app. So when you share it, you can see who's watching it. So you get the notification of when people are watching the content that you're sharing. That's what I love about the app.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even want to get into the whole tracking mechanism. I know we're going to get to that, here shortly. But I mean, that's really the bread and butter of why we went with this app is, the whole tracking feature behind it, and the fact that it just really makes everything so much easy. And for people who are non-marketers, with the drip campaign that it does, it really just builds your business for you. And all you got to do is just follow up based on what you're seeing in the app itself.
That's right. So the idea is to help provide some great content, right? Corporate created content, videos, images, YouTube links, and things like that. Give you the flexibility to use some of your own content, but really it's about sharing it. It's sharing it on social. It's sharing it in a text message. It's sharing it one-to-one and maybe an email follow-up. And then it gives you the notification of when people are viewing that information. So you can do your best job. We always say, Steve, the fortune is in the follow-up. right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know if people are viewing your information, it makes it hard to follow up. It can be a little awkward. So that's another great component of the app. So what I'd like to do is really talk through how to share content from the app. And it doesn't matter what type of content it is, whether it's an image, whether it's a video, whether it's a PDF, if you're doing it in an email, you follow the same steps each way. So we're going to talk about how to share from the app. Step one.
And I got to tell you one thing real quick, So as you guys are going to see, Jason's the expert when it comes to the unfranchised marketing app. I'm going to be a little bit of like a Dick Vitale and just adding in my color commentating, here and there, from that. But when I think of follow up, I always think about the great story that JR used to talk about with his tapes. He used to always hand out tapes, to feed the brain, feed the knowledge. And he used to always share when he gave it to one of his prospects, and he said, "Hey, I want you to listen to this tape." And then 2 days later, he comes back and he says, "Okay, Greg, what did you think of the tape?" And he said, "Oh my goodness, JR, it was so great. I can't believe how, I learned so much from it and all that." He said, "Really? What'd you learn?" And he went into it. He said, "Greg, you do know it was a blank tape, right?" From that. And I mean, so what we can do with technology these days by knowing who's clicking on what, how far people are getting through, we can also see where they might also be, getting stuck, or where they might be getting lost on, for that. And then be able to come back in and say, "Hey, is there any questions that you had about it?" And then it's going to lead people to say, "Oh, well, I got a little confused on this." It opens up that discussion rather than making someone feel like that they're supposed to know everything after what they get.
That's right. It really is just arming you with information to do your best job. So, we're going to walk through very simple steps, Steve, so everyone can understand how to use the app. And the most important thing is to use it, right? That's how you're going to understand how to use it, is just to use it. And it sounds funny, but it's that experiential learning. So we've got a section here in a little bit. We'll have you guys follow along, but you're going to open up your unfranchised marketing app. Make sure you pull to refresh, and then you're going to identify what you're looking for. So it's broken into categories. Maybe you're in the health and wellness category, and you're going to find perhaps a video, the Isotonics delivery system video. At that point, you're going to click on that, and it's going to bring up that video to the main screen. And it's going to allow you at this point to click on the share button. So you can share it a couple different ways. You can share to social, you can share to a contact. And when you share to a contact directly, you can use any social messaging service. You could use a text message or even an email. So it gives you the flexibility on how you normally communicate with these individuals. So when you go ahead and click share, it gives you all of these options. Now, one of the things that people get confused about, and we've made more of a verbal disclaimer, is the copy button on at the bottom. A lot of people say, "Well, I just want to copy the link." Now, if you just use the copy feature, you won't get any trackability to that, meaning that it's going to go to yourshop.com site and the product detail pages. That is going to be connected, but you won't get any alerts or notifications. And that's really what you're looking for. So I'm going to urge you to share on social or send to a contact. You're going to use one of those. So when you go ahead and click on share on social, it's going to give you a little gray box with some information where you can go ahead and type in a genuine, unique message. You want to create a unique message. However, we have provided you with some content that you can use. So we've got some pre-written content, but the challenge is if everyone uses the same content, the social networks don't like that, because then it seems like it is not unique content, and that's going to hurt everyone's algorithm. So you can go ahead and show that templated message, but you're going to need to change it a little bit and personalize it yourself. Now, I will just plant the seed that we're in testing right now, and coming very soon is going to be AI generated captions. So you can click on a little AI button, and it will create a short post for you, which is great. So it'll have what product that you're sharing. It'll have some little, I want to be more professional, I want to be casual. So you'll be able to update that content. And Steve, isn't that fantastic how we're
Yeah,
using
that's
AI?
going to be great. I got to tell you on that. I was just using I was selling a couple of sports cards on eBay the other last weekend, and they just put it into their editor to create, where you can create, award-winning descriptions, to help better sell your product. And it was so simple because it kind of took it. Yes, I had to tweak it. AI is not perfect, and all that stuff. But I did have to tweak it a little bit, but it was great how it kind of put forth a little bit of a structure to my, to what I was going to put in there. So I think that that is great that we're utilizing AI, because I think that so many of us use the Chat GPT, use, Anthropic, Claude, Claude's their version of Claude. There's so many of these great products out there that, what, if you're got a little writer's block and all of that stuff, it's great because you can throw in, hey, tell me about this, write me something, and then it's great how it can come up with stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say that same thing, Steve. If you have writer's block, I was going to use that same phrase. One of the things I noticed or learned from some unfranchise owners that they're using Copilot. They're logging onto UnFranchise
Yes.
and using Copilot because Copilot knows everything about our products, right? They
Mm-hmm.
know about all the product details, so it can craft a really great message. So once you've done that, you're going to click on a little confirm button, and then what it's going to do is it's going to bring up all of your different social messaging channels. In this case, you're going to get the notification that your message has been copied, and then it's going to pull up your phone in the device of what different social channels you have. Maybe it's Facebook in your feed. Maybe you want to share it to a Facebook group, or maybe you want to share it to Instagram or something like that. Now, what you'll see is when, in this case, you went to Facebook, it pulls up the video and then it says write something. All you need to do is then paste. When you click paste, it'll paste that message that you copied from the marketing app. A lot of people get confused. They say, well, I shared it, but it doesn't say anything. Because again, we copied the message, you're then going to have to paste. And to do that, you simply press and hold your finger down on where it says write something. A little call out comes out and says paste. You click paste, and there's your message right there. At that point, it returns you back to the unfranchised marketing app. And what it's done is it's now taken the link to the product that was associated with that particular asset. So when you click on open Facebook, it's going to go back to Facebook so that in the comments, it says now paste the link in the comments of your post. And the reason we do that is because statistically, we've been watching this and doing some studies. When links are shared on Facebook directly in a post like this, they tend to get less visibility because Facebook does not want to direct traffic off of their platform.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you can post that in the link, that link in the comments, you'll still get the same attribution. You'll still get the connection, what you're looking for. And then it doesn't seem so spammy like we talked about last week, where you don't want to be a link sending specialist. You get a great post, the great image or the video, and then you can post the link in the comments. And that's how you're going to get the most out of this sharing feature in the marketing app.
No, it makes total sense.
Now, I tend not to do a lot of mass sharing through the app, but I do a lot of sharing to individual contacts. I really take that one-to-one approach. So last week we talked about building that relationship, having conversations, meeting new people, and then almost taking that closer to offline or one-to-one communication. So in this case, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to open up the app, find the asset that you're looking for. When you click on it, when you click share, instead of sharing on social, you're going to click send to a contact. When you do that, it's going to open up the contacts in your marketing app. Now, it's going to sync your contacts from your phone to the marketing app. So if you haven't synced your contacts, there's not going to be anything listed there. So you're going to want to make sure that you've synced it. In that first line item, it says device contacts with a little swirly arrows. That's going to sync your contacts from the marketing app to your phone contacts. At that point, you can search your contact database. You can add a contact in the upper right-hand corner. But once you find the person that you want to share it with, you find their name. In this case, it's Andrew. I didn't have Andrew's email address, so my only option is to do a text message called SMS. and I've whited out the phone number there. But then when I click on that phone number, it allows me to share directly in a text message that asset that I want to share with my contact. So I love that one-to-one approach, Steve.
I agree. And I mean, I know we're about to get to the catalog here in a minute. So I was kind of holding, my, what I do personally. But, one of the things that, I do when it comes to like with the digital catalog itself, you know, I never send out a link without some sort of personalization or customization to the person. If it's one of my best friends, Kevin, who's been a longtime customer of mine, who if he came over to my house and he talked about, what he saw a product on my on the shelf and he asked me, what is it? And so, you never talked to me about that. Well, what I end up doing is that I send him over a product catalog, and I don't just send him a product catalog and say, "Hey, the product you were looking for is is in the new product catalog." No, I always lead it back and I say, "Hey, Kevin, great to see you last weekend over at the house. You wanted more information about the NAD Plus. NAD Plus, is a great product that you can find in this catalog right here on page 14. It has all the information you can click on to see the product detail information, and it's great." I always want to do that because I want people to know I'm listening to them and that I'm then taking that listening and I'm following back up with them based upon a need that they told me or a pain point that they told me. And then I'm going to answer that. One thing you guys are going to find is that Jason and I are going to refer to a lot of the verbiage we talk about in past series because we want them to be instilled into your mindset that this is stuff that you're supposed to be doing. This is stuff that once you do and make it a habit, it's going to be something that's going to be just a habit, that it's going to be routine for you.
That's right. That's right. And you referenced earlier how, some people might be a little hesitant or cautious to produce video content, shy behind the camera a little bit. But we have some great footage in the marketing app. We've got a whole video shorts category, which are great videos that have been produced by our social team, which will be joining us in a couple weeks here. But we also have celebrity reels in these categories. So great shareable content that you can download. So when you pull up those assets, you're simply going to find that asset in that category. In this case, it was the Core 3 Health promo video. Instead of the share feature, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the download button. When I download this content, it's going to download it right to my device, right to my phone. So then I can share it or upload it to say my stories, my reels, or TikTok as if it were my own. So it seems those networks will start seeing it as your own unique content that you're sharing. So what you can do again is download it as your own and then upload it to those social channels. And then you can customize, the links and the stickers and some other fun things that you can do. But it's very easy. We want to make sure that you have access to all of the content. And that's another really important thing about the app is that we've centralized the content that you can use to grow your business.
Yes. And I mean, the digital product, oh, I'm sorry, can keep going.
Nope. I forgot I had some screenshots here. I got so excited, I jumped ahead. So you can see when you go to add it to your story, it adds that video right to your gallery, right into your own photo gallery. So you can upload it right into your story. And then you can customize, in this case, your link. And then you can paste your unique link to the Core 3 Health right here. And then it adds it to your story in this example.
I mean, it's so simple how you can do all of this within the marketing app and then share it on the different platforms.
Yeah.
With the digital catalog, this is something that, I instill in our creative services team at the company about how important it is to make sure that this is constantly updated. What most of you guys don't realize is that, a year ago, I took on, and brought on a great CMO and Joe Soto, who, and I took on the marketing team, and changed the marketing behavior, when it comes to that. And, one of the things that I wanted them to do was I wanted them to have a sense of pride of not only on their work, but also think like a unfranchised owner. And so one of the things that frustrated me, this was before leadership school, is that it had taken 3.5 months for them to update the product catalog. And I said, guys, that's unacceptable. We just had an incredible icon, and we were missing some of the products that were in there. You have to go out and you have to sit there and think, man, how do I run a business if I'm sitting there promoting Tower or NAD Plus and I send someone a product catalog and it doesn't have it in there? Now they have it. Now it's a routine. When leadership school was over, within 1 week, that product catalog was already updated. They're doing that also, a standard operating procedure for the rest of the countries, because not only is it the #1 most shared item in our UF marketing app, but it's just also one of our best selling tools we have, Jason.
That's right. That's right. So you can leverage that digital catalog right from your shop.com and from your unfranchise.com, but we also loaded it right into your unfranchised marketing app as well. So it has its own category under digital catalog. We've got it in English, Spanish, and Chinese in the app right now. So very simply, we're going to show you point and click how this works. You simply click on the asset, it opens that asset up, and you can do exactly the same thing. You can share in social, share to a contact. So what I'm going to urge you to do right now is open up your unfranchised marketing app, folks. Go ahead and open up your unfranchised marketing app. We'll let it load. For those that forget how to log in, it's very simple. It's your rep ID and your password, just like logging into unfranchise.com.
And let us know if you haven't logged in, because then we'll know that this is your first time using it in a while. Just kidding.
That's right. That's right. You shouldn't have to pull to refresh because the digital catalog has been there for quite some time, well over 18 months, I believe. So you're going to go ahead and click on digital catalog. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the share button. And let's have you click on the button to send to a contact. When you click on send to a contact, and for those that don't have their phone with them, you can see us on the screen. You can follow along. You're going to identify someone in your contact database. And if you've got their email address, it'll have their email listed. If you've got just their phone number or both, it'll be in there as well.
So just real quick, because I'm seeing a few people who aren't seeing it, you have to scroll down a little bit. It's going to be the digital catalog is its own tab right underneath the celebrity videos and the business building sections for it. Just so that you're not because I see some people looking at new and things like that. It's right underneath the business building. You got to scroll down just a little bit to find it.
Yeah, as we load in new categories and content, it always gets loaded at the bottom. We will share in some future sessions how you can reorganize, and you can reorganize your categories and personalize your own experience, Steve, so that you could put that digital catalog towards the top of your app if you'd like. So it should be on there. If not, pull to refresh. That might be the issue as well. So once you've clicked on share to contact, you're going to select whether you want to text it to someone or maybe send it in an email. If you're going to send it in a text, you're going to click on the phone number that you want to text it to, and then click the next button. If you're going to email it, you click on the email address and then click next. At that point, it brings up the post or the message that you're going to share. So this will be the actual text message or the email that goes along with the catalog. In this case, Steve, like you said, personalize it. Hey, John, check out our new catalog. The product we spoke about earlier is on page 12 with a little smiley winky face emoji, right? So, you want to personalize it. Like Steve said, if you're talking about, say, Tower nutrition shake, you're going to direct them to where that to find that information. Once you're done, you click on the confirm button, and you can see that then it is sent over to John Smith in this case. And you can see that the link is there. Where when they click on it, it opens up the catalog, and then it is directly related to you. Now, the power of the catalog, Steve, is that it's all connected to each individual UFO. So if someone clicks on a product within the catalog, it's directed to that UFO's shop.com product page, which I just love.
And the great thing about that is that it becomes foolproof at that point. When I'm sharing a link and all of that, there's things, that can happen, if I don't copy the right link with the referring ID, if I just share something from somebody else's page thinking that it's going to go right to me, etc. I love how the fact that everything has the attribution tied to it. So my referral link is in every single one of these tracking codes, so that when I'm clicking on this from John, Jim, or Jane, it does not matter, that they're going to be able to know, that I'm going to be able to feel comfortable knowing that they're going to come, if they come back and buy that product, they're buying it off my portal.
Yeah, and then the nice thing is that you will get a notification from the marketing app when someone does click on that.
Yeah.
You'll also have it in your news feed within the app, so you'll have an idea of the fact that they did open it at the very least. So it helps you just be notified. So you can see it here in your feed. You can see at the very top it says, John Smith clicked on the Market America Digital Product Catalog. So it helps you with kind of following up to Steve's point. Um,
Exactly.
Now, Steve, you can share other things through the app as well. It's not all just directly related to product, right?
Correct. And I mean, this is the, between, we got things like, we'll touch on samples here shortly, but all the product divisions, I can really market myself, when it comes to whether it be weight management, whether it's be health and nutrition, or whether it be or cosmetics and skincare. I can really become an expert without being an expert, because of the content that we provide for everybody. A lot of the great content you see on social media is preloaded, so I can simply send out there. A lot of the videos that our award-winning multimedia team does is preloaded on there. We don't only just give you the best shopping domain in the world in shop.com, but we also give you such great information, such great content, that it looks like that basically you're taking the millions of dollars in overhead that we're paying, and you're leveraging that in your business to be able to showcase this great content. And that's why we do it, because we want you guys to, who either don't feel comfortable behind creating content, or those who do but want to have a little bit more of a professional, piece that they want to share out to them. We do this for you, so that it looks like, so you're not just running, $149 business. You're running $1 million business with $1 million products, with $1 million tools that you have access to, that you can then share out, look professional. And there is no faking it until you're making it, because in this business, you make it once you want to make it.
That's right. And I love the fact that it makes it easy to duplicate, because I might focus on something like web centers, but I may not be too sure on what content I can share for, say, motives. But I can use the marketing app to help share that content to those people, so that I'm prospecting someone. I don't have to be at a loss. I don't need to know, everything about all the different divisions. I can leverage the marketing app content for that. One of the things that I love is the digital company comparison video. And that's in the business building section. It's a 3-minute video that really talks about the power of our business as compared to drop shipping or affiliate marketing. It's a great little introduction type video, or it could be a great follow-up video. Again, use the video, share it, and then you get traction in terms of who watched it and how long they actually watched it as well. Helps you just with your appointment setting, right? Now, another follow-up tool, or even just a great retail tool, is a section for quizzes and questionnaires. And this is all the incredible surveys that we have, such as the Nutri-Physical, the TLS weight loss profile, the skincare analysis quiz. So we have those loaded in here as well, all connected back to you. So you could share the Nutri-Physical, for example, from the marketing app. And when it gets shared to your contact, let's say in a text message, when they click on it, it's going to end up on your Nutri-Physical on your shop.com. And it's a way that you can use one tool to lead to the next tool, which is really going to improve adoption.
And that's the thing about it, Jason, is that I love how your thought process is that after you've shown someone the plan at the kitchen table, there's already something you're already thinking about what you're sending them out on the UF marketing app. So you're sending them the video. Then once you meet with them again, you're following up with other things with them. And that's what you kind of have to take this, the content that you're going to get in the marketing app, as this is a way for you to help standardize a little bit what your follow-up is and what you show people before meetings, what you show people after meetings, etc., because it does have that great tracking system so that you can see how far along they're getting in it. But also what it's doing is it's allowing you to simplify the business.
That's right. And what's simple is duplicatable, right? And that's what I love about business
Yes.
building this way. So, you can leverage the marketing app to share the unfranchised business presentation video, the UBP sizzle video, the digital education credibility, division specific information. So it could be great for business building alongside retail as well. And Steve, do you want to talk to us a little bit about our sample sizes, our trial
Yeah, I
sizes?
mean, this was a great thing. I mean, everybody wants to try samples of products, especially things that they can't feel, touch, and all of that. And so, I think about, what initially grew our business. What initially grew our business was Thermochrome 5000 samples. And we did them in 3-day packets. And Jason, when we were a small company at that point, and so, so we didn't have enough money to be able to put into the product so that it would be automatically, collated. So what we literally had to do was have staple parties, and we would have the Thermochrome 5000 in there, in the little packet. We'd have to make the little paper container and then staple each one of them. And now, Jason, there was 80 in a case, and we were selling hundreds of cases of this because people were giving out Thermochrome 5000 and they were feeling instant energy, instant boost, and all of that stuff. And it always led to either a bottle or a case sell. Trial size marketing is such a great way to get people exposed to the product. Now, the thing about it is that there's so many different ways to do it. Whether I, as an unfranchised owner, am going to is going to send out the samples, through my marketing app, whether it's going to be a customer who's purchasing it, through the landing page that they're being sent to, or whether it's hand delivering those samples. Now, the one thing about it is I used to only be hand delivered samples. That was all I liked to do because I wanted that personal touch. However, what happened was I kept so many times forgetting to plug it into the unfranchised marketing app. And then what happened was there was no drip campaign to follow back up with that customer or to let me know what was happening with it. So now I've learned to have to utilize more of the unfranchised marketing app to send it directly to the customer.
Yeah. So, when we have the sample, it's this all-in-one system, right? They get the mailer, which has, all the product information for the sample. They get samples of the products, but it's all professionally designed. It's such a, I hope everyone has had a chance to order these and experience them themselves. It is such a high-end tool, and people are really impressed by it, Steve, when I've handed these samples out. If you do send it from either unfranchise.com or you send it through the marketing app, it has your address as a return address. And it also has a little note in there from you. It says, dear prospect, and it also is coming directly from you. So again, it's personalized. But Steve, to your point, you want to make sure that you're leveraging the app, because even if you hand it out in person, as you said, that's great because you've got that one-to-one where you handed them the sample, and then it's up to you to do the follow-up. Well, the app, when you go into the app and you log it in and you say, I sent a sample, given a
Yeah.
sample in person, when you connect that to the contact, it'll then automatically drip information. You will get some information from the app. They're going to let you know when the app was, or when the sample was delivered, when they is day one, what's a great text message to follow up, what's a good text message to follow up on day two, what's a great text message to follow up on day three, all pre-generated. But your customer or prospective customer is also going to get an email. They're going to get an email each and every day, so that it's going to enhance your follow-up. One of the things that we've seen is that sales professionals typically only follow up maybe one or two times.
Mhm.
But statistically, most sales happen between the 5th and 12th contact.
Yeah.
So if you're handing the sample out, they're getting 3 different emails, plus you're getting 3 different text messages. Now you've done your job following up. It's going to give you a higher opportunity to convert that to a sale.
And the thing about it is, Jason, well, one, I just want to go back to your point because I saw your stats, earlier today where it showed 80% of the people, it takes 5 to 12, pieces of content to send out to them before they actually, make the purchase or make a decision. I can also tell you that the other 20%, where, it's too busy unfollowing you when you do it that many times. But, that's beside the point. Listen, you got to have a little fun with this business, right, guys? But what I do love about this is that all of this content that that's created right here. This was nothing Lee did create did on her own. This is all stuff that's already pre-populated in the template for the marketing app. So all of this great content, the great news, the needle-free serum sample for James contact for James is just shipped. That's what's great about it. This is all canned templated content that I can either manipulate or I could just send out on my own or send it out and let this app do it for it. That's what really blew me away, was just how great the content is already in there, so that it really simplifies, the business. And I love simple things.
That's right. I just threw it in the chat, just follow the system. That's what we always preach. We always
Yes.
talk about, right? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. And I think sometimes we make it harder on ourselves. I mean, look at all of this great content, Steve, that's
Unbelievable.
already loaded for you.
I mean, it really is something else on this. But, I get to talk about our HSN, our QVC, in an app, and that is Shop Live. When I think about when I grew up, one of my best friends, when I went over to his house, there was 30 boxes of QVC because his mom just watched QVC left and right. And then there were, then you had there was another one back in the day, and people love that, and people love the experience of having a shopper go through and share their clips. Think about one of the things that's made Gary blow up so much, Gary Brecka blow up so much, is the fact that not only is he providing education that makes us feel like that we want that product instantly, that he also is sharing, he's smart enough to share what the product is so that somebody can instantly go to it. I know that one of the things I just recently bought that he's been pushing so hard is the alkaline water, bottles and all that stuff. I had to go buy one on my shop.com site to do it, because when Gary talked about it, it made me feel like, man, but I'm getting 9.5, pH levels and all that stuff. But he made me feel like it wasn't good enough. And all that. So I had to go buy one myself. And the great thing about this is you can create those interactive and dynamic online presentations. Right now you can only do it from your desktop. Soon you'll be able to do it through your app. But the thing about it is that when people say, I just would love to be able to do it on my app and just be able to get it, when you go through the process of picking out products and making sure you're moving them around and all that, it really is optimized for the desktop. And so therefore, so as we make things easier, again, we will make it app friendly as well. But again, you just go to unfranchisemarketing.com and you'll log in, and there will be your Shop Live ready to go.
That's right. Big green button that says go live. Can't make it any easier than that.
Exactly. And then you get, I mean, you can have up to 250 attendees, for your 60-minute session. The thing about it is, this is not something you're going to want to do in the masses. This is something you're going to do by, 4, 5, 10 people. You want to make this a private party. Think about it as this is I look at this as being great for when I'm cross-pollinating and building at a distance. I'm not going to make it out to Phoenix, Arizona every month. But this is my way to be able to engage with my customers as well as have my unfranchise owners bring customers onto my shop lives and be able to share some of my insight, some of my personal testimonials on how these products have done it. One of the things that I always talk about is that every single time I do a Zoom on Monday nights, there's always one thing beside me, and in this red cup is always aloe strawberry kiwi drink. It's the one thing I can't live without. And yes, I know it doesn't make it isotonic, but I always throw some magnesium in it. It's what I do every single night, whether it's a Zoom or a day-to-day basis. It's what I always have in my red Solo cup at night.
I love it. And you had the product right there, right? And that's the idea, is
Yes.
that you can showcase the products that you're using, as well as share some great product information and educate. A lot of people do home wellness events, which is fantastic, but think of it as the home wellness event that you're doing for your handful of customers, your VIP customers. But then you can invite your team or others to participate and join that shop live as well, and invite their customers, so that we've got one professional sharing the information, but now everything is being tracked back to whoever invited them. And I love that. So you want to make sure that you prepare yourself, just like any event that you're going to do, whether it's a wellness event in the homes or an unfranchised business presentation or a coffee shop meeting. You want to be prepared. So you want to know what products that you're featuring. And I'll tell you, you don't want to have a shop live where you're covering, 20 different products. This is something that you really want to narrow down to maybe 3 to 8 products in that range, because you're going to try and target, and a confused mind doesn't make a purchase, Steve, as you know.
Not only does a confused mind not make a purchase, but we live in an inflationary world right now. The dollar doesn't go as far as it once did. So you also have to think about, if I can entice someone to want to buy every single product that I'm going to share with them, how much can they truly spend before it becomes too expensive, or they're now having to make choices, for that. So if you keep it to that 3 to 6 products, it's so simple. And then the great thing about it is, with Core 3 Health and Core 3 Beauty, you're getting 3 products at a discounted rate in each one of those things. They're getting the best of the best. It's a simple system for them to follow, and it's great.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was going to reference that as well, that you could do the shop live and focus on the 3 components of Core 3 Health. So those are the 3 products, but then you also have the actual code for Core 3 Health, right? So that would be considered 4 products, but it's really that one system. So you're making it simple for them as well. And the power of this really is what we call team attribution. So Steve and I may not be financially connected, but if Steve's doing a shop live and he pushes it out and lets me know that he's doing a shop live on Core 3 Health, I can invite my contacts to Steve's shop live. And I'll let Steve do his great work that he does, sharing about Core 3 Health in this example. If my customers click on any of the links, they go to myshop.com, to my Core 3 Health product detail pages. So it doesn't have to be within your own organization. We can be doing these shop lives and cross-pollinating and really leveraging each other's efforts in order to get the best produced content for all of us to succeed. So in this example, the leader has their contacts that they invite to the shop live. They then have their UFO, John, in this example. He invites some of his own customers to the shop live. But then John might have Sarah that has some customers that she wants to invite as well. All of them are now going to be inviting their customers with their unique link. So when that shop live is taking place, it's all tracked back to whoever invited them. So we're never going to be giving customers away to other individuals.
So now, Jason, if you can take us through quickly, how do we create our teams?
Exactly. So you're going to do this right from your unfranchised marketing app. So when you go to the homepage on your app, on the bottom right-hand corner is that More button. When you click on More, you're going to go to My Profile. And under My Profile, you'll see that there's a little link that says Teams. When you click on Teams, you have two options: to join a team or My Team. And this doesn't necessarily mean your unfranchised organization. It just means people that you want to be connected to for a shop live. So when you click on My Team, you then create your own team name, your own team code. Could be Team Freedom, could be JP123, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Once you click and complete and save your team name, it then gives you an opportunity to send an invitation out. So you can send this invitation out, and anyone that then logs into their marketing app, they can click on that team link and they'll be joining your team. So it's very easy to share an invitation to join a team, but then also, as long as you have someone's team name, you can log in and from the marketing app, I'm going to skip ahead here.
Mhm.
Under My Profile, click on Teams, and in this case, you click Join Team. When you click Join Team, you just type in that team name, and now you're successfully added to that person's team. So it's very easy to add your own team as well as to join an existing team.
I mean, that's really amazing just to see how, simple that is. And the thing about it is, Jason, once you find the products, adding the products to your shop live is also super simple. Why don't you show us how we do that?
Right. So when you go to unfranchisemarketing.com on your desktop, we will be going mobile friendly here soon. It's in development. You click on Go Live, and it's going to launch a live shopping event. But because you haven't invited anyone, no one's going to show up. You simply click on the interactions button, and you'll see that there's a little shopping cart, and you click on Shop. When you click on Shop, it allows you to select products from shop.com, motivescosmetics.com, isotonics.com, all of your websites. So from your websites, you're going to decide which one you're going to feature. In this case, let's say you do shop.com. You then have the ability to search. You can search by brand, by category type, or just product name. And then you're just simply going to select and click on the products that you want to add to your shop live. It's that simple. Search,
Wow.
click, and you add them.
I
So
mean, that really is amazing, Jason. How they do that. It makes me think about some of the things that we're doing as a company. And when you were showing the search, I just had a meeting on Friday with our search team, and they're building out the next generation search for shop.com. That's going to be across all the different sites, which I cannot wait to show everybody. When they develop that, because I know it's been a frustration of so many as far as finding the products and getting upsold and things like that. And then our next generation is going to be insane.
I love it. I love to hear that, Steve. You guys are doing such a great job. But it is, it's all about being simple.
Yeah.
So when you're going live and you're actually conducting your live, you'll see that there's a little toggle. You can either turn them on or off, and that's how you add the products to your actual screen during your shop live. So you can see she's focusing on her shop live. She has neurofocus in the example. Someone clicks on it. Anyone clicks on it, it's going to go to the shop.com neurofocus PDP page, the product landing page for purchase. Now, we understand that this is new for a lot of you, but there are tutorials, very easy to follow courses right within your app. So under More, there's also a category for Learn. And in the Learn is a library of videos that teaches you about the unfranchised marketing app, how to use samples, but also how to use Shop Live. And I encourage all of you to watch through those videos so you can make sure that you understand the power of the Shop Live.
And this is, that's another great feature we just launched about a year ago, which was our Shop Live replay. And there's nothing worse than having having the perfect game and never being able to share it out again. type thing. And so, so you go on there, you had a great shop live, and you can't send it and you can't reuse it over and over and over again. So with the new share replay, there's going to be that record button down, down. All you got to do is begin, and you click it when you begin and when you stop, recording, just like we do on our phones right now. And your recorded live will automatically be added as an asset. So it's just like how the digital catalog was an asset. This becomes an asset to where I can share that and I can send that out. And it's so easy for me to edit, edit the, shop live. I can do things like, maybe if I want to, change the title up, maybe I want to add certain things like a new description, etc. It allows me to be able to let the person know what they're about to see, so that when they view it, they've already got an expectation as far as where they are and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
And then, let's pass through this. Just because we already talked a little bit about attribution, fam, just let you know, give us 5 more minutes, tonight, because I'm really, really cautious of everybody's time. And I know once that 10 o'clock, time hits, everybody's got to go to other, responsibilities. So no, let's go back to this real quick. So, let's talk about a brand new feature we're doing. We are making shopping fun again as we bring Shop Live to shop.com. And many of you might have already seen this was going to be something that was going to be a part of my shop.com presentation on Thursday at Leadership School. Is that now you're going to see Shop Lives on your shop.com homepage. And so, so what we started out with a few Dr. D videos. And so if we can click on the next one, Jason. What you're going to see here is that down at the bottom of your shop.com page is going to be this Shop Live that's ongoing, and it'll be on different subjects that Dr. D is talking about. Now, if we click on this, we're going to be able to see all the different products. You and your customers are going to see all the products that they can view on this, and there's in-video ordering. So what's great is that when my customer goes to my shop.com portal, they can watch this Shop Live that Dr. D is doing. They can say, oh my goodness, I'm taking a probiotic, but my probiotic doesn't sound nearly as good as the one that she's talking about. If I click on that probiotic, it's going to take them to a product page within the Shop Live itself on shop.com. All I got to do is add to cart right there while I'm still watching the video, so that once I'm done with it, I just simply go to my cart and go purchase what Dr. D or what any one of us or what anybody from is talking about. It's so amazing. It's on all the US sites right now. We have the ability to do it on every single site on shop.com. We have all of the sales team and all the doctors in the international countries working on content so that we can put it on all the different shop.coms. And this is just phase 1. Phase 1 was just getting the corporate content out there so that you had corporate team members selling product for you. Just like Dr. D is selling product at the health tour, they are selling products just for you on your UnShop.com site. But here's where it's going to be gold. Where it's going to be gold is that coming very soon, for Icon is that we are going to give you the ability to actually do your own shop lives and post your own shop lives on your homepage, on your own shop.com homepage. So let's just say that, that if Patty all of a sudden decides that she had a great, she's trying to sell more Motives Cosmetics, and she's saying, okay, I'm going to do a makeover, on someone, and I'm going to show how it looks, and I'm going to have the products in there that people can purchase, and it turns out great. Guess what happens? Now I can add that to my shop.com homepage, and then now when someone goes to my site, they can see that makeup tutorial that I had by everyone one of those products, and guess what? I earn retail profit. I earn, Patty earns retail profit. Patty earns the BV and IBV off of it, and their customer gets to see, a great production that they get to now buy and be exposed to more products.
I love it. The chat is blown up. People love this idea. We're gonna have to do some more on this, Steve. I think
Absolutely.
Shop Live was a sleeper, and now people are getting excited about it. I'm certainly looking forward to all this great content and UFOs being able to produce great content. Couple quick things on this. You need to be able to feature a minimum of 3 products. So that's something to just keep in mind for this tool to work. But we definitely want people practicing and starting to do more shop lives, and we encourage you to do that.
Absolutely. That's the big thing about it is you can't, you're not going to be great at first. You're just not. When I first tried to do it, I stumbled all about trying to make sure I was pointing at things that were over here. I looked like a complete fool. But guess what? I did it. And so the next time I did it, I learned from that. That's the only way you're going to learn is by doing it yourself and pulling out the phone and just saying, or pulling out your computer and just saying, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to become a product of the product, just like we all did with our vitamins, with our skincare, et cetera, that are the best in class.
And none of the content will be shared without your permission, meaning that you've got to flag it as shareable content.
Right.
If you're not comfortable with the shop live that you did, you can keep it private just to yourself, so no one will know that you kind of fumbled your way through it. So you might want to do some tests and have some fun with it. I mean, it could be skincare and beauty tips. It could be tutorials. It could be a wellness event. Could be a focus on digestive health. There's so many different concepts. Just like you do wellness events in the home, you can do them as a shop live. And we encourage you to work in teams, right? Partner up with
Mhm.
someone and start doing it on a consistent basis. Maybe you do one a week. Maybe it's, a lunch and learn on Wednesdays or something like that. Pair up. Maybe you pair up with someone who has a different focus than you, or maybe you pair up because you both have a strength in, say, TLS weight management. One of you might be more on the nutrition side. Someone might be more on the fitness side. So
Mhm.
so work in teams, have fun, and certainly just try it. Just try it. It really is all about the trackability. It's about the attribution. Your customers stay your customers, regardless of whose shop live that they watched. You get analytics on your unfranchisemarketing.com desktop. You get to see how many people joined the shop live, how many people interacted, how many engaged, how many clicked on products. So you get all those analytics within this tool. I'll tell you, Steve, the influencers today in the world wish that they have what we have here and what we're providing on franchise owners with these tools.
No doubt about it. And I know many of them. And when we come out with our own influencer program and we're able to get them on this tracking and to show them what they can have access to, it's going to blow everybody's businesses up.
Yeah. So, this is what I've seen work really well in teams is practice a shop live, pair up with someone, and you each become a participant. Each of you become an attendee. So conduct a shop live and invite someone. You'll each have that experience. Then do a shop live for your organization. So it's just for UFOs. So you guys can do it as a coring to experience that. Then maybe do a VIP event where it's just a handful, maybe 1 or 2 of your top customers, and they get to kind of test it out with you. And then once you've done that, you've gotten comfortable with it, you've kind of worked out the kinks and the bugs. Now you're ready to do your own shop live.
Absolutely. And again, family, wrapping up tonight's session, I want to remind everybody about 2 amazing sessions that are coming on. You have, for Asia Pacific and for the UK, you have at 8 a.m. Eastern time, you have Lauren Reidinger doing her own Blueprint for Success tour live on Zoom. It's going to be translated in all of our major languages, throughout. So you don't have to worry about, translation, or if someone doesn't know, we have everything from from Malay to Mandarin to Cantonese to Indonesia. Every single language is covered for this. There are 5,000 plus people who have already signed up for this event. This is going to be enormous for that. And then next Monday, Jason and I will be right back. and we're going to take it. And the topic of focus is going to be building a brand on Facebook and Instagram and we're going to bring on other UFOs as well who have been successful in this to share some of their tips of what they're doing, and all that. Because the thing about this is we want this to be a fun experience for everybody. And the only way we're going to make this fun is bringing on special guests and all that to also, talk about what they're doing, in the trenches, just like each and every one of you and all that. So again, thank you so much again for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys every single day. We appreciate what you guys do. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we'll see you next Monday.
Fantastic. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.